Hello YouTubers and 3D printing enthusiasts, FreeCAD users, and whoever else might be watching. So I've developed sort of a method that I use for lettering or texting on top of my 3D prints. Labeling. And it produces some really great results. I'll show you more of a close-up here. But this lettering, it's very clear, it's very nice looking, and it's right at the surface. You don't feel it much. It's not really a cut that you can tell. It just looks like it's just part of the surface. It's beautiful looking. Here's another box I did. See that? And you end up with this little outline around the edge too that I think looks kind of nice. So I thought I would talk about this method and how I do this in FreeCAD. It's very easy, and it relies on a little trick in the slicer where you have to do one color change, but you can do that with any monochrome printer. You don't need a multi-material system. So let's get into it. So I'm in FreeCAD, and I've just made this simple little block for demonstration purposes. Now this lettering technique works best on the surface that's going to be on your printer bed. So if this was a model, the lettering technique would work best on the bottom. So you'd want to plan your prints so that the object is going to be printed down on the bed. It would probably still work okay on the top surface, but this really works best on the bottom surface. So we're going to create some text. I'm going to go over here to the draft workbench and turn off the grid. And I'm going to use the shape string to create the text. You don't want to use text. That just adds plain old text. Shape string creates a shape from the text. That's what we want to use. Now you're going to come over here and you're probably going to want to hit reset point. That's going to put our text at the center point, the origin point. Here we have the string that we're going to use, and I'm just going to put in the word text. Height is the vertical height of the text, the size of it. That depends on your model. You can always change that later, so that's, no big deal right now. Font file, you're going to need to browse to a TrueType font in your system. In Linux, it's under user/usr/share/fonts TrueType. Windows, I think it's in the system32/fonts folder. I don't know where it is on Mac, probably in the system folder /fonts. But you're going to want to find your TrueType fonts and choose a font there. Once you have your text in here, the size and the font, and I've got to reset the point again. This lets you choose where on the screen you want the text to appear. You can see the coordinates are changing over there on the left as I move the mouse around. I could click anywhere and it's just going to drop the text there. We're going to be remapping it, so that doesn't matter. So I'm just going to hit reset point. And we'll hit OK. And now you can see we have this text string. I'll go to the bottom view. And it is upside down and backwards. That's okay. We're going to be mapping it to the surface and we'll reorient it then. So with the shape string selected here in my model, now first off I want to point out, if we look over here at the model, you'll see where it's shifted over to the left. If we're in part design and we're working with a body, let me collapse the body. You'll see that the shape string appears outside of the body. Before we'd be able to apply it to our model, we need to drag it into the body. There we go. Now I'm going to map it to the surface. So I'm going to come down here with the shape string selected, come down here to map mode. I'll click in there and get this little 3-dot menu. I'll select that. And now we are selecting the surface that we want to map it to. So I'm going to click on this surface of my model. And you'll see it flipped right around. Now it is mapped to this surface. We can also shift it around here. If we look down here under attachment, we can rotate it around one of the axes and we can move it around on the X, Y, and Z directions. I'm going to move it a little bit. I'm using my mouse scroll wheel to shift it around or to change the values. So you can shift it around to where you want it to sit on your object. And I'll hit OK. Now I said before that you don't have to worry about the size, you can change that later. With the shape string selected here, if we scroll down, and I should have changed this before I moved it, justification is where it is anchored. It's anchored at the bottom left of the text right now. I probably should have set that to middle center before I moved it around, because now you'll see it's going to shift off to the side. The middle of the text now is its origin point, and that's where I shifted it when I moved it in the map mode. But we can change that again. We just come in here to shape string, attachment offset, position, and there are the changes that I made when I was mapping it. So I can come in here and I can move it around again. Now that I've changed the justification, put it back where I want it to be. If I set this to 0 and 0, it should be mapped to the middle of our object now. The other things we can change in here, we can make it italic with this oblique angle. As I change this, you'll see the text shift at an angle. We can change the size right here. If we wanted to make it bigger again, we can make it bigger. I'll make it a little bit bigger. And we can change the text string itself right here with string. And tracking is the spacing between characters if we wanted to tighten it up or widen it out. So after we've got our shape string positioned and mapped to the surface we want it on, then we need to go back to Part Design. And I am going to cut this into the surface with the pocket operation. But here's the thing. We only want to pocket it one layer. So if we're printing at 0.2 millimeter layer height, I'm going to go 0.2. That's the big trick here. So you can see it's actually pocketed in there now, but only one layer. Another thing that we can add is logos or graphics that we might have created. For example, I have this maker's mark that I use on my models. Everything I create, I put this maker's mark in there somewhere, and I've saved it out as a FreeCAD sketch. And I can open this file, and I can select this sketch and do a copy. And then I can go back to my model and do a paste. And again, just like with this shape string, I need to drag this into the body. And now you can see that it's on my model here. I'll need to position it. So I'm going to come over here, select it, and I'm going to come down here to Map Mode. Click the little dots, and again, I'm going to select this surface. So now it's mapped to the surface. And then I would, just like I did with the shape string, move it around wherever I want it to be. And then once I've got it there, the same process, I will pocket it 0.2 millimeters, and it's done. Now I'm using Prusa Slicer, but the method should be the same in Bamboo Studio or Orca Slicer or Cura or whatever slicer you're using. I'm going to import the file that we exported, my demo body here, and there you can see it. And if we look underneath, you can see there is our text and my logo. And we're going to slice it. And then we are going to scroll down here through the sliced model to the first layer. And now you can see, let me hide the legend. Here's our first layer. And we're going to have our text and our logo cut in there at a depth of 0.2 millimeters. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to move up one layer. So on the next layer, you can see where it's filling in behind those with a 0.4 millimeter bead. I'm going to hit this little plus to add a color change. So what's going to happen is when I print this, the printer is going to pause and it's going to unload the filament and let me load the new filament. So if the first color for this layer was black, I'll load my highlight color for the text, like silver or some lighter shade of color. And it will use that then, when it resumes, to do this layer. And we will do one more layer at that color just to fill it in nice and solid behind. And then on the fourth layer at 0.8 millimeters, I'm going to add another color change. And then the printer will again pause, unload the filament, and we'll load the black back in, and it will resume and continue the rest of our print. And that's really all you need to do this. Now what's going to happen here, you might think, well, we're going to have this 0.2 millimeter gap, but we're not really, because we're printing over it with a 0.4 millimeter bead of plastic. So what this is going to do is it's going to droop slightly into that gap and fill it in. And our text is going to be pretty much right at the surface. You'll barely be able to feel this when you rub your finger across it. It'll look like it's just perfectly embossed within the surface. And that's really all there is to it, to do this, this type of labeling and text on your prints. Okay, the print is running, and it is just about to finish up that first layer. And what will happen is you'll see it pause and move over and unload the filament. Okay, here we go. It's just about there. There it has paused. It's moving over and it's unloading the filament. The screen is asking me if the unload was successful. I'll say yes. Now it wants me to load the new filament. I have a beige color I'm going to use for the text. Now what it's going to do is it's going to prime the nozzle. It's going to push out some excess filament. Okay, right here you can see it's pushed out or primed the nozzle with the new color. I'm going to pluck away the excess. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my tweezers ready, because as soon as I hit go, it's going to push out a little extra filament before it starts printing, and I need to pluck that off. So I'm going to hit go, and if you watch real close, you'll see it happen. There. So it squirted out a little bit of excess filament that I grabbed, just so I get a nice clean start. And there it goes. It is now working on those highlight colors that are going to come through the text. Okay, it's almost done with layer 3, and then it's going to pause again and unload, and I'll put the black color back in. Okay, we've got the black color back in. It has just finished purging. I'm going to pull out that excess filament, and now I'll get ready again to grab that first little prime that it spits out when I hit go. Here we go. And there you can see it. And it will now resume the rest of the print with the black color. And when it's done, I'll pop it off the plate and show you the results. Well, here we go. Here's our result. Doesn't that look great? And it feels absolutely smooth. You can just barely tell the text is there. So there you go. It's a pretty easy way that you can add lettering to a surface on your 3D prints, on the top or on the bottom. Usually you'd want to do this on the bottom to really get the nice texturing of your print bed if you have a textured surface. I hope you found that useful, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, click to subscribe. Join us on the Facebook channel for discussion about the videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please click to support me on my Patreon page.